Hey, what's up, Bears fans? It's Aaron, aka the Bearded Bears fan, back with another video here. I'm going to review Sunday night's game and preview. It's Packers week, so our Bears, they beat the Rams. The week before that, I didn't do a video because I'm going to be honest, I was a little down after we laid an egg against the New York Giants and what was just a sloppy, ugly, disgusting game. We still had a chance to win it at the end, but we came up just short. Man, it's just been a roller coaster of a couple of weeks. I don't know if some of the guys maybe been looking ahead to just looking past the Giants and being ready for the Los Angeles Rams coming into Soldier Field on Sunday night. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Chase Daniel looked he just looked horrible, to be honest. Threw a couple of picks and had a bunch of fumbles. There was a bunch of issues in that Sunday game, and they hit us with a couple trick plays and ended up beating us. So I'm gonna move on from that game because our Chicago Bears kicked the shit out of the LA Rams on Sunday night. They came into Chicago and they were the quote unquote best team in the NFL, or one of the best teams in the NFL, one of the top 3 teams, and our defense shut them down. They made Jared Goff uncomfortable in the pocket, and the more surprising thing to me, because after watching LeGarrette Blount run kind of wild on Thanksgiving and then Saquon Barkley do what Saquon Barkley does. By the way, I know I might get a lot of hate for this, but I see Saquon Barkley as the Barry Sanders of our generation, or of the next generation. I was born in the late 80s and grew up in the 90s, so I did see Barry Sanders, and I saw, Emmitt Smith, some of these big-time running backs that we had in the 90s, and I feel like Saquon Barkley plays like Barry Sanders plays. He might get a 3-yard loss, or he might get a 20-yard gain. You just never know. Plus, he plays with a not very good offensive line, just like Barry Sanders did. So I think that may have had a lot to do with it. But we shut down Todd Gurley, who, in my opinion, is the best running back in the NFL. What he does for that team, they run everything off of that. So when we shut him down, it really shut their offense down, which was incredible. And our D-line was there all night in his face. And I saw Leonard Floyd made some big plays. He actually, if you guys remember, made the big tackle for loss that led to the safety that Eddie Goldman got, that was awesome. An awesome turn of events on Sunday night. I was pumped. I couldn't sleep. I thought about doing a video that night, but it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was just like, hell with this. I'm going to bed. So now on to and I don't know, Trubisky looked terrible Sunday night. There's no way to beat around the bush. He was overthrowing guys and he just didn't seem locked in, or I'm not sure what the issue was. Maybe he was knocking off some rust from missing 2 games, or I'm not sure exactly what it was. We did get Jordan Howard going a little bit. He had his first 100-yard game of the season, so that's a big plus for our Chicago Bears, and that'll be something to build on going forward. This week we've got the Green Bay Packers coming into Soldier Field, so we're gonna need to defend Soldier Field again, which I think will be up to the task. A couple of factors in this game. Obviously, we remember week 1, the Packers came back and beat us when we were up 20-0, and they found a way to get it done. And since then, really, our teams have been on 2 different trajectories. The Packers have kind of fallen apart, fired their head coach. Aaron Rodgers really didn't like McCarthy or the way he was running things, so he kind of ran him out of town. They're calling him the LeBron James of the NFL, sort of. That happened. So this Sunday, not only is it a revenge game, a rivalry game, we got a chance to take the NFC North this Sunday. And I really think that our Chicago Bears are going to grab this game and put a stranglehold on the division. and push for a push for the playoffs. After that game, we've got San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco on Christmas weekend, and then finish up the season in Minnesota with a chance to probably knock them out of the playoffs, which I'm hoping we can do, because I really don't want to play the Vikings 3 times possibly. So this is some things that I'm looking for in this game. It's kind of hard to know tendencies with it, where they got rid of their head coach, so they're not really doing the same things that they've done all season. The Packers, I guess, looked good last weekend. Of course, that was against a terrible or not very good Atlanta Falcons defense, who are struggling with injuries. They've got 3 or 4 key players out on their defense, so that may have had quite a bit to do with it. And they just don't have the playmakers that we have on the back end of their defense either. And remember, if I love Kyle Fuller, he's leading the NFL in interceptions, and I think he's a Pro Bowl player this year. If he's not in the Pro Bowl, there's a fucking issue with the system. But we were an interception away from beating the Packers week 1, and it hit him right in the chest and he dropped it. But I'm not going to dwell on that, because he's been playing lights out pretty much ever since then. So to be honest, I don't think the Packers are going to really be that much of an issue for us. And I say that, but I said that about Miami, and I said that about the New York Giants, and we ended up losing. Of course, those games were on the road. This team really buys into defending Soldier Field. The only loss we've had were to the Patriots, and if you remember, we were a yard short from going to overtime with them. Plus, we spotted Tom Brady 14 special teams points with the punt block and the kick return for a touchdown, which you can't do. So, obviously, I don't see us doing that against the Packers. Their defense is young. They've got a linebacker that, I hate to say it because I'm a Bears fan, but I really like him. His name is Blake Martinez. He just flies around the field, and he's a big hitter. They've been dealing with some injuries too. I believe Mike Daniels is still out on their defensive line. They brought in who was it? Did they bring in Muhammad Wilkerson? Or maybe it was Sheldon Richardson. I don't remember. One of those. They brought in one of the Jets D linemen, and the Vikings brought in a different one. Neither one of them has lived up to their 1-year prove-it deals, so they're probably not going to be with those teams next year. So I see us getting pressure to Aaron Rodgers, and I think I think we're gonna blow them out. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see their defense being able to. If Trubisky can get back on track, he knocked the rust off last week. This week, if he hits his guys and stays on track and stays focused, I don't see any issues with their defense, to be honest. They got J.R. Alexander, who they drafted in the first round. He's a pretty good corner, but going up against Allen Robinson, Allen Robinson's a bad man. All you got to do is throw it up to him, and he'll go get it. So I don't see that being an issue. They traded away Clinton Dix, who I thought was their best safety. I guess if you talk to Packers fans, they see it a different way. They thought he was not that great, or he was overrated, but whatever. It's neither here nor there, because he's not with the team anymore. He's in Washington, and I see a big game. I hope we build off of the Jordan Howard, what we did last week with him, and I'd like to see him and Tariq Cohen get going again. I think their linebackers, other than Martinez, you got Clay Matthews, but he's like 150 or something. So I think we can get the screen game going, hit Cohen on some wheel routes, because he runs that route so well. If you guys remember the Giants game, that was about the only thing we had going for us was Tariq Cohen on that wheel route. I'd like to see Trey Burton get going. I'm not sure what's been the issue there with him not clicking or not. I had high expectations for him going into this season, and he hasn't lived up to them. But he does his job. He runs his route the way he's supposed to. even if he's not getting the ball, you'll see him carry defenders off with him, which is also part of our offensive game plan. And I don't see that changing, although I'd like to see him get in the end zone. Let's see what else. So I covered Jordan Howard. I covered Tariq Cohen. We need Trubisky to get back on track. Allen Robinson's going to be going one-on-one with Jair Alexander. Taylor Gabriel, he's just a speedy guy. I don't know, we'll get it out to him quick and hope he can do something with it. I'm not sure. And then on defense, we need our D-line and our outside linebackers to get home. That's how you beat a top quarterback, is you hit them and you hit them again, and then you hit them again. That's how you do it. You make them make faster decisions than they like, throws off the timing of the play, and that is why defense wins championships. That is why defense will shut down your best offense. That's why we were able to handle the Rams, and that's why the Dallas Cowboys were able to handle the New Orleans Saints, because we play good defense and we shut down offenses. That's what we do, and that's what we're going to have to do this weekend. And these guys know what's on the line. They want the division, and I believe Akeem Hicks was saying earlier in the week that everyone heard what Aaron Rodgers was saying a couple weeks ago, where it was basically this year's RELAX, where he was just like, oh, we got to beat the Cardinals, then we got to beat Atlanta, then we go to Chicago and win, which we do all the time, and then we got to do this and do that and have some help. We got to win out and have help, basically. So I think that this Chicago Bears team, they hear him say, go into Chicago and win like I always do, and they take offense to that, because this is not Trestman's Chicago Bears. This is not John Fox's Chicago Bears. This is Matt Swaggy Nagy's Chicago Bears. We get the ball out, play great defense, and that's how we win our games. So bottom line, I think our Chicago Bears, I am worried about Bryce Callahan not being there, but Sherrick McManus stepped in relief last game and played pretty well. The LA Rams have 2,000-yard receivers, and we pretty much shut them down too. So, again, you get pressure on the quarterback, you make him make quicker decisions than he'd like, and it throws off the timing of plays, and they can't get it done. So that's what we're going to have to do. We need Mack to get home. We need Floyd to get home. We need Akeem Hicks to stay on the tear that he's been on this year. If you guys haven't voted for him for the Pro Bowl, it's a damn shame. You need to get on and vote for him into the Pro Bowl. Eddie Goldman, we need him to just keep doing what he's doing, man. He clogs up the inside and lets our guys run around and make plays, and sometimes he makes plays too. He had that safety last Sunday, and it was a hell of a play and a turning point in the game, because at that point it was 6-6. We got the safety, made it 8-6, and then we went down the field and scored a touchdown, and they didn't score again. So that's what we're going to have to do this week. Aaron Rodgers, he kind of knew how to attack us week one. We'll see if, I think part of that was where he had hurt his leg. He was just trying to get the ball out quickly. Aaron Rodgers, in all his greatness, he likes to, instead of taking a bunch of good plays and having his playmakers make plays, he likes to wait for that great play. You know what I mean? That Hail Mary play, that deep ball play, and that's what he does when he's healthy. He stands back there and waits. He moves around and waits for that one play instead of moving the ball down the field methodically, which hopefully that works in our favor. If he's standing back there, we're going to make him uncomfortable, and we'll hit him a few times, and who knows what will happen. But I have a lot of confidence in our Bears this week, and I think that we win the game 27-13. I don't see us having any issues taking care of this offense. Our Bears know what's on the line. They want the division. They want to win it at home. They want to get their shirts and hats at home in front of the fans. And I I don't see us losing. I think they know what's at stake, and they're going to step up to the plate, and they're going to take care of business at home in Soldier Field. Bear down. Fuck the Packers.